Alright, looks like I'm streaming. Hey everybody, CT. It's Saturday, April 18th, 2020, 2:50 p.m. So, Ludum Dare 46 started 8 p.m. last night in Central Time, and I didn't really do much. But I think I'm landing on an idea of just like retelling the Apollo 13 story in like some kind of game format, and I think it's gonna be a really chill game where, yeah, that like you just kind of experience the story really. Uh, and I'm not sure that there's gonna be any failure or anything, so that's the idea. I worked on a little bit of gameplay yesterday before I even knew what I was doing, and I guess I'll show that once I can. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and go to my monitor, and I'll go ahead and pull up what we got. So the goal is to convert what I have here into something that is like this interactive story thing that you can go through either really quickly and just see the main points of the event, or if you want to dive a little bit more into the history, you can go talk to some of the NPCs and then, continue on the journey. But anyway, I have this really simple thing just to kind of get the core mechanic out there, and it's this basically. You're at this green block. I have it moving really fast right now because I'll be iterating. If I do a click, it will do this interactive block where that's like interaction. And then if you go up to the like, this guy has like a radius, and like if you want something to trigger, like maybe show an exclamation point, that can happen. If I hit space, there's some dialogue that shows up there, and if you walk away, the dialogue goes away. And then I guess if you click these guys, they die. But this was before I knew what I was doing. So now that I have a little bit more idea of what I'm doing, I think I am going to start kind of fleshing out the story. So I was just outside kind of thinking about how I want the story to go. And this is my storyboard. And so the storyboard is going to be like, alright, so we have picture of the spaceship, right at the start. Then when you actually start the game, you'll be like this astronaut, and all you have to do is get into the spaceship. And then you can see ground control, and maybe ground control, you just have to get your guy to the chair. And then you see the T-5, T-4, and then liftoff sequence. And then you get this orbit Earth. And so basically I'm going to try to just have like a couple of scenes, like the ground control, space, like the command module and the lunar module, and like those are the maps that you see throughout the entire game. And then basically I'll just kind of have some dialogue and interaction between like the people. And this is kind of me plotting out the narrative and what are the key events to move the story forward. Basically, like you explore these beads, but then like there's only one event that progresses the story forward, and then you just basically end up at the other end of the beads, and then the game is over. So yeah, and inside the bead is basically if you just go talk to NPCs or something. Okay. So that being said, let's try to make the first scene. Might just be like, yeah. I'm trying to think this through just to get this working. I might just make this like a CSV or something. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Or JSON. JSON? People like JSON more than CSVs. And that'll just be all the dialogue of the game, and I just need to put that all in a big text document, just so, yeah. Or, you know, it'd be best, task this out. So let's task this out. So this is for my stream. Let's just make this one more list for Ludum Dare 46. Alright, so make dialogue sheet. We got to do that. Create scene for entering spaceship. Create scene for ground control. Create space scene. We want to, okay. Create command module scene. Create lunar module scene. And maybe an ocean scene for the victory, ocean/victory scene. I imagine just like the parachutes coming out of command module. Okay, yeah, so that's the game basically as a really high level thing. I really kind of want to make this at a very high level and then kind of keep detailing it in. And really just to get these kind of key events in first. Let's just black box all these scenes. I think that's going to be a good start. Alright. So first things first, we will make some scenes. So I'm going to make these all blank. And this could be like menu scene. Since it's blank. So we have menu scene. We're going to have enter spaceship scene. We will have ground control scene. We'll have ground control. Then we'll have the command module scene. We'll have the space scene. And we'll have the lunar module scene. And maybe some kind of victory scene. I'm gonna have some text. Yeah, I'm not sure if to just read the text as different files or just make one giant file. I think just one giant file. That way we can edit it whenever we need. Alright. Yeah, I'm good with that. Alright, so we've made a white block. Let's go ahead and make a white circle. And that might help me with the space scene. Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's make a quick white circle. So let's show that in Explore. I'm just going to copy paste this, call it white circle. Oops. And let's go ahead and make it a circle. I'm going to use GIMP for that. So let's open it with, no, don't share it. I don't want to share it. Alright, so here's this thing. How big is this thing? It's only like 32 by 32. Let's make it like 128 or 256. So let's resize this. Scale image. 256. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Go ahead and delete that. I can just make like a new layer. Delete the background layer. And then what we'll do is just make this a circle. I don't know how to make a circle in this thing. Here's a ellipse selection tool. That will be helpful. Let's get up in here. And we'll just put this up here. And yeah, there we go, an ellipse. And let's go ahead and fill this in with white and overwrite white circle. Okay, so now we have a white circle, and that will be useful for the space scene. So yeah, I'm basically gonna just white block this whole whole. Sorry, I just saw that I made an object for background. That might be a smart thing to do. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, what I was saying is I'm just going to white block this whole game, and then we'll start actually filling in the detail. So here we go. This is the sample scene. Let's go ahead and go to the menu scene. I'm going to copy this background right quick. See, hopefully I can just paste it right in here. Yes. Okay. So we have this background. We can have a spaceship, and I'll just make that another block. This could be like a gray block. Make this much smaller, just so I can kind of play around up here. So this is the spaceship. It'll be like this big-ish. Like that, maybe. And let's go ahead and make a canvas with Text Mesh Pro on it. Oof, yeah, let's go ahead and import Text Mesh Pro. Okay, and then let's go ahead and make that text white, if it's not white already. And let's make sure that the canvas is just scale with screen size. I'll make this half. Let's just put this, I see it here. Maybe if I just click the whole canvas. Okay, so here's that. Let's go ahead and say this, I'm going to call this project To the Moon and Back. And I'll just make this bold, and we'll maybe make it a best fit. Oh man, it's raining out here. I hear thunder. Okay, auto size, sure. And we'll move this up here. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it for now. Maybe that's what it remains. To the moon and back. Okay, and then let's go ahead and give this a button. And this could just be like start game. And we can kind of make that, oops, I'm resizing the text where I want to resize the whole button. And then maybe the text can be a best fit or auto size. Alright, stop moving the text. Okay, and what else do I have? I had like, yeah, an ode to, yeah. And this text is just going to be an ode to Apollo 13, 50th anniversary. And that is what we're kind of doing here. I'll make this right align, just like off the edge a little. Okay, something like that. Shaders, normal and tangent are most often used with lighting, which an overlay canvas does not support. Okay, well then don't do it. Okay, thinking. Alright, so I have the start game scene. This will just go into the enter spaceship theme. So let's go ahead and start naming some things. So this could be like title text. This could be start game button. This can be subtitle text. And this is just the UI. This is spaceship, that's fine. Background, event system just comes with the UI. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and have a load scene script. Alright, and I gotta remember not to close Rider, so I'm just gonna keep saying this out loud to myself, just cause you know, this is like 20-30 seconds of just me waiting for this to load up, so can't have that happening like all the time. So okay, I'll just put either a public string, yeah, string, string. We can have a scene name, and then public void load scene, and then we'll just put in the string scene name. Why am I just I'm just thinking. Maybe it just depends where I want to put the scene name. Do I want to put it in a variable to be edited on the script? Probably. Or on the actual button event. Yeah, I'll just leave it on the variable. Load scene, scene name. And maybe I'll think of a reason why this was not a good idea, but for now this seems to be okay. Okay, so that's our load scene script. We'll just put that on the actual button though. So here's our load scene. You don't have the string. Is there an error? Oh, I can't name it the same thing as this. Okay, so maybe I'll just rename you to load scene component, I guess. And then here, hopefully this will compile. I can put the scene name in, and we can call this like entering spaceship. Yeah, enter spaceship scene. Enter spaceship scene. Alright, cool. So that will load the next scene. So we can go ahead and go to our build settings, make sure we get all these scenes in here. There we go. So it's in our build settings now. And hopefully when we click on that, we'll get into this next scene, which I will work on in just a second here. I want to add maybe one more thing here, like some ground. So I'm going to duplicate this. We'll call this ground. And let's get back to this level. And look, the ground is just going to be something like this. And it's going to be this kind of green color, I'm guessing. I don't know exactly. But something like this. And I'm going to put the spaceship one level above. I'll put the UI at the top, I think. And the event system above that. Just so I can kind of play around with this stuff. Spaceship, I'm going to put it like just one above. Maybe it's have to be a little bit higher. Yeah, something like that. Like that maybe. That looks good. Okay, nice. So that is the scene, the menu scene. And did I not save it? Why did it all kind of revert to... Oh, because you probably have to be... Background, I might just make it like negative a gazillion. As many nines as it can support. Oh, it's int, so 32, 78, 768. Okay, and that's the background, that's the spaceship, that's the ground. Everything else seems to be okay. I hit start game, it will load the next scene, but I don't think I've wired any of that up. So maybe Oh, I know what I can do. I know what I can do. This script can handle all of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get an instance of button, and I'm gonna go ahead and just like require component type of button. So you're required to have that, and just on validate, we'll go ahead and assign that. If not button, go ahead and assign it button. That's on this that's on this game object. Okay, and so that hopefully adds a reference to the button. Nice. And so now we got that going on. Cool. So that looks good. If I click start, it should do something, but I haven't done all of that stuff yet. Okay, let's do a couple more things here. I want to add the load scene to this button click event. So maybe on enable, I'm putting it here, but I might have to move this out. Like we'll say add callback, and I will think about what that means in a bit. I think so. Like, all right, in the editor, we should have like Unity editor events or something. Event tools that add persistent listener. Yes, that one. This guy, I'm gonna go check you out. You have a Unity event base or a Unity event Unity action. Ah, yeah, that's what I want. Unity event Unity action. Yes. So we'll just call this Unity action, right? And okay, actually, we should be doing this here. And then we'll just say, we'll say Unity event, Unity action. Let's go ahead and make sure we import the right requirements. And then we can't name that event. It's gonna have to be like EV or Unity event. That would be fine. And then we'll just say call persistent Unity event action. And so what that will do is when I enable it, I just say, hey, button dot on click. So let's just say add callback to that, and then the callback is going to be load scene, and there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and have a remove callback, because when this game object is destroyed, you want to make sure it removes any kind of listeners. So okay, now we have the remove callback, and so maybe on disable, nope, on disable, we can say remove callback the button on click the load scene. All right, so that's how we like subscribe or unsubscribe from that event. So cool. Now we have a button. When we click on it, it will call that function. Otherwise, it will not call that function. Yeah, but you see, we're relying on this editor thing, and that's not exactly what we always want to do. That's only for us to like easily see what's going on. So we're gonna do a pre-compiler thing where we basically say, if you're the Unity editor, go ahead and do that. But if you're not, use like the actual event. It's just like plus equals the action. Let me see. Maybe it's like dot and add listener. Yeah, that's probably the right thing to do. Oh, let's finish it up actually. Add listener action. That look legit? Yeah, and then we'll just put that here. And then we'll just kind of do the same thing here at the remove callback. And I'm going to move this down. I'm going to delete this all together. And I'm going to move this up and make sure that this is remove listener. That looks good. Put it back in the else statement. Format the code, and there we go. Now we have this like nice add callback function that's easily uh, debuggable in the editor, but when it's actually in the game or like in runtime, we'll actually see that the listener just gets added without having to do all this like Unity editor stuff. So cool. I'm gonna go ahead and hit play, and let's see. Nice. So we're in the next scene. Okay. So we're doing good so far. So click start, you get to the next scene. Let me just change the next scene for now to the sample scene, just to see if I can get to like a more dynamic scene for funsies. For the funsies. Yeah, so for that, we will just say sample scene. I think it's all one word. And let's try that. Nice. And then we're in our game. Maybe I'll just have a really fast, dynamic Apollo 13 game that has nothing to do with Apollo 13. Yeah. Anyway, let's not get off track. Let's keep it going. Alright, so that was the menu scene going to the actual first scene. So the first scene is us entering the spaceship, which actually, let me go ahead and say enter spaceship scene. Enter spaceship scene. Alright, and testing that one more time. Great. So enter spaceship scene. This is what's gonna happen. It's gonna have a lot of the menu stuff. So let me bring that over. Like these three things, I think it's gonna be just similar to this. So I'm copying that, and I'm gonna go to the enter spaceship scene and pasting it back. And what I might do is just add some like astronauts here. And so I will just have 3 characters. Maybe even if I go to my sample scene, I can grab maybe a character and an NPC, and maybe even some of the borders. And I'll just remake the borders in the enter spaceship scene. Okay, so here we go. This is some of the stuff from the sample scene. I am having some errors because there's no dialogue window. So we have this kind of hard reference to a dialogue window. So let's go ahead and the dialogue window, I feel like there's only going to ever be one dialogue window, and it may exist on any scene. So this is what I'm going to do with the dialogue window. I'm going to make this a prefab, and it's going to be kind of a disabled prefab. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of hacky, but it's a game jam. Everything's kind of hacked together, right? Okay, so we have this dialogue canvas. It's here. It's this guy, and I just want to have this one reference throughout this whole project, and it may or may not exist on the scene that we're talking about. So I wanted to always create it. So to do that first, I'm gonna have to make a resource folder. Even before that, I'm gonna make a prefabs folder. And I'm going to go ahead and put this dialog canvas as a prefab. And then in here, I'm going to have a resources folder, which will be this kind of like main function, where basically this is called no matter what scene you're running. This is just the main. So this is always running no matter what scene you're running this from. Hey, Joe. So let's do this. So we're gonna call this main. Yep, so main is gonna just have this one thing. I forget what it's called. Yeah, runtime initialize on load method. So this is kind of a static method that will run no matter what. So this is the thing. This is going to be a singleton. So that means it's going to be static. And the main part, create main if not exist, is basically what this function is doing. And so we're going to check if you're singleton. If singleton, then you just return. Don't worry about doing anything. But if your singleton does not exist, what we're going to do is we're going to have to find a reference to this main thing using the Unity libraries. So we'll just have this variable called main, main prefab, I guess we should call it. And this is going to be resources.load, and then the path. I think I could just say main, but I'm not quite sure at all. And what do you return? Yeah, I'm gonna say as game object, and then we're just gonna say singleton equals instantiate this main prefab. Oops, main prefab. Not sure that this is all going to work. Let's go ahead and say get component main. Yeah, let's see if that works. Pretty sure it won't work on the first try, but we can dream. We can dream. Oh, we gotta actually make the main prefab. So let's go ahead and create main prefab. Delete the main. Alright, let's see. Yep, can't see anything from this maximize view, so I gotta make sure to undo that. And it looks like there's trouble in paradise with the red down there. So let's go ahead and see why that is. I'm guessing it can't find the main. Oh no, this is actually not that error. Do we have a main? No, I don't think we have main either. Right, it's the dialog window, which was the next thing I gotta handle. So let's go ahead and disable these things that are causing those errors. So that's the enemies. Are the enemies in here? This is a sample scene. The sample scene shouldn't have errors, right? Oh, I don't think it is having errors, or is it? That was like old errors. Oh, clear on play. Yeah. Okay, so this is working, but my main thing is not working. So let's figure out why that is. This has to be a static. That's one reason. Now, yeah, I figured maybe I'm not doing that part right. I think, do I have to put prefabs? Let's figure that out. All right, still an error. I'm just gonna keep trying things. Maybe? Should totally just look to see what it wants. All right, let's go Google some stuff. Let's see, resources.load. Yeah, text file. Oh, so we don't put we just put, yeah, that's what I thought. I think you just put the name of the file without the extension or anything. But maybe I'll do that whole, this part of it too. Alright. So let's make sure we're doing the generic game object. I'm gonna play this game, the Final Fantasy remake. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Now we got main clone. No matter what scene we're in, we're gonna get that main clone, which is gonna be great. We can do lots of hacky stuff through this class now. Okay, cool. For no good reason, I'm gonna also name it just main. Okay, and what I want to do is not destroy it on different scene loads. So like, do not destroy on load this game object or singleton.game object. Great. All right, we're in biz. Let's keep going. So one of the things we want to do is have a thing, things that we want to initialize. So like one of the things that was missing is the dialog box. So what we can do here is now we can have like a reference to dialog window, and maybe I'll just name it dialog. I'll make it a property, so we'll just say get, oops, we'll say get dialog window, and we'll make a quick function for that. And that will just be this. I'm going to break some of my own programming rules. So we'll just have a reference to dialog window. And this is get dialog window. And so this is what we're going to check. If there is a dialog window, go ahead and just return that dialog window. And if there's not, well, obviously, if we're here, it's not. We're going to just say dialog window equals find object of type. No, because if there's no dialog window, we've never created it yet. So let's go ahead and create it. I don't think I want to keep doing that, like put all the singletons and resources, but I could. Nah, what I'm going to do is just make sure it exists. So screw all of this. So this is what I'm really going to do. If singleton, if not singleton, just return null. If not singleton, that dialog window. So that's what I'm just gonna have it as a regular variable. Dialog window, dialog window, dialog window. Just return null. Or, well, we should just return singleton.dialog window. Okay. Nice. Okay, so that's how we're gonna handle that. And all we're gonna do is just in the main prefab, we make sure to also put the dialog canvas right there. Okay. Is that what we want to do? This is what I think we should do. Put it just here, and then you're here. Okay. So now the dialog window will exist on every scene, possibly. So if I go back to the scene, we can delete this canvas, which is going to give me errors. Maybe. Oh, it did not. Nice. Okay. did lose the actual text though in there, and I gotta figure out why that is. I don't even see it here. You should be able to see it in the preview. Let's figure out why that's happening. Is it because I did all of this? No, I don't think that's the reason. Is it because... maybe it's something to do with that. Alright, let me just say nothing on this guy. Let me say 1024 by 768. Does that look like legible dialogue? Oh good. The other thing about editing prefabs is those changes stick, which is nice. Okay, yeah. Alright, good. So my dialogue thing is pretty easily accessible. So that's the sample scene. I'm going to save that. Let's go back to the scene that we were working on, which was entering the spaceship scene. Okay. Seems to work still. Now, let's like change the borders up some. So the borders are here. We have to bring it like to here. Our main character is going to be here. Our NPC is going to be... We'll have 2 NPCs. Not exactly sure what I want to do yet with all of that. These are going to be like 2 different astronauts. I'm going to make it so that you can't walk through this guy either. Box collider. So now we just got 2 guys. Oh, and let's go ahead and put this border way down. Like here. And go ahead and delete the images. Oh, I don't have to delete the images. I just have to, you know what I'm going to do too? I'm going to make it red and transparent. Just in case, if you don't want to still see everything behind it. My left border. Oh wait, the spaceship already does what it needs to do. So I'm going to actually bring that out to the camera. And I might do the same thing here. Okay, something like that. Bring this up some. Okay, that feels good, I think. I guess the other thing is the dialogue should be at the bottom, but this is the thing. I think I need to put some barrier at the bottom. I was thinking of maybe like moving dialogue up or down, but I think it should always be at the one spot. That way it's always just there. So that being said, what I'm going to do is kind of move this whole scene, or maybe just move the camera. Oh Lord, I know I'm not in play mode, so this is not going to work really well. I want to see the dialogues, so I'm going to add that to the scene for now. So there it is. And now I want to move the camera. So I'm just at the move. I just want to move it so that it basically hits the borders like that. I think that's good. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and put it at 3. That's kind of the zoom that we're used to. Yeah, okay. That being said, we probably need to hit the borders. Something like that, maybe. I'm gonna change the core mechanic a little bit. Like right now, it's like get close to them and then hit space to talk to them. But what I'm gonna do is just click on the actual use the interaction thing to actually talk to them instead of hitting space. Okay, this seems good. Yeah, all right. I like this. The next thing I want to do is, I think I might just have to do that core thing right now, actually. Uh, so for that core gameplay part, I can delete this dialogue now. So for this core gameplay part, what I'm gonna do is, like I said, instead of hitting space to see this dialogue, I want when it interacts with this white box. I don't even know what's happening there. Oh, the trigger leaving. Yeah, okay. Um, yeah. Let's fix some of this. Okay, so I'm gonna save this. Actually, this is a good place to like commit. So I'm gonna go ahead and commit some code, because you should always commit often, early and often, right? So we've done a lot of stuff, including import text message pro. So I'm going to just grab all of that, say import text mesh pro, create scenes, simple menu scene, and enter spaceship scene, start it. Yeah. And so now that we have the enter spaceship scene started, what else did we do? Create main prefab for global objects. And yeah, that's probably good enough for now. I had this like GitHub action that's supposed to compile this to a web executable at the end, but I don't know. Damn it! Did I forget to bring in some files? So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna amend commit. It's not gonna be able to be pushed very easily, but what I can do is go to the terminal. Is that the terminal? Let's just see if git push -f. Does that work? Okay. And let me go over here. All right. Great. So, sorry, had a quick snafu there. So, yes. Now we're working on the actual main core gameplay loop where I just want to interact with everything that I click on and not have to really worry about some of these things. This close radius thing, show dialogue on close. What I want to do is make sure that the person that's coming next to me is the player, or the character, I guess. So if other dot get component character, if you're not get a character, just go ahead and return. And same thing with exiting. So now you saw how, like the explanation blinking every time I click the button. I'm hoping now that will not be a problem. Actually, let me go ahead and maximize this on play. So yeah, now that like I click, nothing's happening to that exclamation point. Cool. Okay. Um, that's exactly the behavior I wanted. What else? Right. I think it's the spacebar thing, right? So right now, if I get close, spacebar, and then I got this. But anyway, that is not the desired behavior that I want. I want to basically, I'm not even going to worry about showing the dialogue on close. I'm going to just, so this is on character, I think. This trigger talk thing, this is what I want to work on. So I don't think I need to do any of this at this point. I think I am thinking I might still do it in here. But it all has to do with this attack box. So this is what's going to trigger the dialogue. Do you have any special tags? You don't right now. So I'm going to say, this is what I'm going to do. NPC talkable or something. Talkable? I guess. Yeah, so whoever has this component is going to be talkable. And we're going to have a few things here. We'll have a string of their text. Have a better idea, list string of text. Sure, why not? So these are going to be the things they can say. Hey there. What's going on? Are you sure you talking to me? Hey, I'm walking here. Alright, and later. Nice. Okay, so I think that's fine. That's just a sample. I don't want to have to do this in the inspector all the time, so I might have a way to like import something from a text file or something. Maybe. Maybe. So maybe I'll just give you like a NPC name. Scene name. That's gonna load on enable. Okay. Great. So so this is what we're gonna do. On trigger enter 2D maybe. Oh, we also got to say what index you're on. Public int index. So when you enter, we're gonna go ahead and just console debug.log just to make sure it's working. We'll just say text index, and then we'll just say index equals index plus 1, this whole thing, modulus text dot counts. Okay, so basically it keeps looping. Okay, that seems fine. Let's see if it works. Talkable. Here's the different things that can be said. That was behind my head. Okay. Oh, also get the scene name on enable, just so I know that it's kind of working. Scene name equals scene manager dot active scene dot name. Okay. So hopefully when I hit play, oof, I can't see all the properties. I have NPC 1 selected on the enter spaceship scene, and these are the things you can say. Later I might make like a whole document for the NPC name and the scene name, just so we can kind of make different things they can say. But that's later. For now. Oh, and on the main prefab, I don't necessarily want the dialog canvas to be active, so let's go ahead and inactivate it. Okay, great. So yeah, I have this stuff on the trigger talk stuff that I might disable for now, and that is okay. So let's see, our character trigger talk, I'm going to disable that for now. Hey, I'm walking here. Later. Hey there. What's going on? Oh, when I'm entering their child's trigger, it's launching. Interesting. This is a problem. So you're not just listening to me, you're listening to this close radius thing. I'm thinking here. I don't think this is where this belongs. I think this is where... Oh, I closed Rider. I told myself, don't close Rider, and I closed it. Okay, character. The attack. If I collide with the talkable, that's when I console.log for now. Right, so here, so if we have other get components talkable, this is where we do this code. And then let's go ahead and actually get it. Talkable equals this guy. If you're talkable, go ahead and get talkable dot index, and then we'll just add it 1 to it. We'll see how that works. Oh, it looks like it's working, just there's other stuff going on. Let's see if I can move this inside here. Hey there, what's going on? Are you sure you're talking to me? Hey, I'm walking here. Later. Alright, cool. So it seems to be working on this guy. This guy I might have not added it yet. Okay. We're getting there. Saving, hearing thunder, saw the lights flicker. Might not be a great experience here. Okay. So I am gonna get rid of this trigger talk. I may even get rid of it, the whole script. It's gone. I see the attack thing. I think I might even get rid of enemy here. Keep it clean. Yeah. Okay. Right. There's problems. Okay. Let's think about this. Show dialogue on close. On close. Not close. This is really show exclamation mark on close. Actually, can I just rename that? Would you care? I might do that. Just keep it simple to read. Okay, we're getting there. We are getting there. Show exclamation on close. See, close is, I'm gonna say near on nearby. Just cause close means different things in here. Alright. So I'm just trying to affect the core loop here. Alright, good. Now I want to actually show that in a dialogue instead of just... So instead of debug.log, let's go ahead and put this in a dialogue. So I should have main.singleton.dialog window.set text, right? And then we'll just say, maybe not just even set text, but this is what I want to do. Yeah, one usage. Okay, and I'm like about to change it on you. Let's say show text, and it's gonna, you're gonna put in the text. We're gonna do two things here. We're gonna say game object dot enable set active true. Right, and then you're gonna set the text. Okay, and maybe we can have a hide text, and that doesn't even need to have any text. Game object dot set active is false. Yeah, okay, that seems fine. And we should be able to go to attack, which maybe I should rename that to. Maybe I'll call it interact. So we'll say talkable dot text talkable dot index. Okay. And like, since there's so much talkables, it might make more sense to just say talkable dot show text. Might make more sense for this to be in here, which I'll go ahead and do. Show dialog. Nothing needs to be passed. And all I gotta do is on the attack, instead of this, we can just say talkable dot show text, show dialog. And then we steal this code for funsies, and we just take all the talkable references out, because when he sees too many references to the same exact object, it probably means it belongs in that object. Okay, so that looks good. Yeah. That's okay. Let's see what happens here. The dialogue might show up, but it may never go away, is the thing. Hey there, what's going on? Are you sure? Yeah, see, but it never goes away. Looking pretty good. Let's think more about this. So we can talk to a thing, but it doesn't go away. Maybe we'll have different kind of talkables. Like this one's just a single talkable. Yeah, let's call that a single talkable. Single dialogue talker. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be called interactable. Not interactable, interactor. Interactor. And you're just gonna have a quick bool is interacting. And then if we, I know. All right, so we have the interactor. I may even rename you here, interactor. And then you're the attack controls, where I'm gonna just call you interaction controls. Oops. And we'll rename you interactor. That's fine. I want to actually get a reference to the interactor. Yeah. Okay, so we have the interactor. If you don't have the interactor, go ahead and just get it somewhere from you or your children. The interactor. Okay. Okay, so we have the interactor. If you hit fire, it basically is active, and then if you let it go, it's inactive. Now, I am probably going to do a few things here. So if interactor dot is interacting, all right, let's even go even a further step up. If input dot get button down fire one. So if you're doing that and you're already interacting, I'm gonna just go ahead and say main dot singleton dot dialog window dot game object dot set active is, or dialog window dot hide text. Done. Else I'm just gonna go ahead and interact for like that one frame. Interactor. Else if. No, else this. And I'm just gonna say true. Else we basically set you false. Yeah? Okay. I have a problem. Let's check it out. You're saying you don't have the interactor. Is it because you're not here? Is it because other reasons? I don't know. I gave you a reference though. Alright, so now every time I click, you can see it activates. Okay. working, but this is what I want to do. Is interacting dot equals true. Basically, you're looking at the dialogue. And if you were interacting and you hit fire, you can go ahead and say is interacting interactor that is interacting equals false. Okay. I think that's fine. This is the single dialogue thing. So if you go up to him and start talking, hey there, what's going on? Oh, you know what I don't like? That sometimes it doesn't. All right, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't feel very consistent. That's what I don't like about this. So in order for this to feel more consistent, yeah, in order for this to feel more consistent, I think I may just have to leave it up for a few seconds. So what I might do is just for like a tenth of a second, so it's a few frames maybe. So instead of doing this, I guess, well, the good thing is if I click again, I think this will work just fine. But I think it's the else if part. If interactor.gameObject.setActive. Nope, if active self. If not active self, then do that. And I know what I want to do. Might just be a simple script. Deactivate deactivate after X seconds. So maybe just like on enable. Yeah, let's also have public float deactivate rate or time equals, I'll just put half a second. And so deactivate time, or I'll just say invoke disable after. Okay, that's what I need to call it. Private void disable, and that's just gonna say enabled equals false. So invoke disable after. Okay. Do you just want it as a string? Disable after deactivate time. Really, I just call this disable time. Yep. And we'll rename you. Disable after X seconds. Okay. And oh, thunder. Okay. What else am I thinking? I think that's fine. All right. So that's going to be on my interactable. So close that. My interactor. Every time you're enabled, you're going to disable after. I'm going to put 2 seconds for right now. Excuse me. And we'll see what happens. No? You don't want to disable? Alright, it's totally not disabling. Oh, it's disabling. You know what it's doing? It's disabling the actual script itself, where I wanted to disable the game object. Alright, so this is a few things. I know it's like Unity wording, but it's okay. Inactivate after X seconds. Inactivate time. Inactivate. Oh, that was really good refactor there. I like that a lot. Game object that said active false after this time. Okay. I'm still gonna do this after 2 seconds. It's active right now. I'm gonna hit play. 1, 2, gone. Click. 1, 2, gone. Okay. So it seems to be holding true. I'm gonna go ahead and make this 0.1. I'm gonna inactivate that. Alright, that feels actually pretty good. I might even make it... No, this is fine. This is fine. Alright, and I guess once I interact with the spaceship, I want to go to the next scene. And then that might be just a good quick stopping point. So I can kind of just get my bearings straight. Let's go ahead and make the other NPC talkable. I'll just call him NPC2. What's going on? Are you talking to me? I'm walking here. Now he should say, are you talking to me? I'm walking here. Nice. Okay. Let's interact with the spaceship and call it a day. Alright, so what I might have is like an on interact or listen interact event, and it basically just listens if I haven't decided yet. Never mind. Let's just because right now everything I guess is happening here on Interactor on the show dialogue talker. So maybe yeah, I'll figure that out. Okay, so the spaceship. I'm gonna just try something. But try the reverse relationship. Spaceship interaction. Not that this is gonna do anything, but I'll give it a shot. Oh my god. Okay. So I think right, I'm gonna just try the on trigger enter 2D. This console.debug log. Debug.log. Hey. Okay, put that on the spaceship. Spaceship interaction. Whoosh. Nothing to it. Let's hit play. Nice. It actually works. Okay. Better yet, tell me if other.name. Just tell me who's interacting with you. Nice. Interactor is the right answer. Oh, I want it so that when you step out of the close radius, I also want the dialogue to go away, but I might have disabled all of that. Oh, maybe not. All right. Okay. Explanation set active is false. Let's also, if you have a dialogue, main.singleton.dialog window dot hide text. I almost want to make dialog window just its own thing. I totally could too. Okay. Sorry, I'm just playing around. Yeah, let's load this next scene on an interaction. So let's do that. All right, sorry, just thinking about different ways of how to handle all this. So the spaceship, no, the spaceship. Maybe we'll have, instead of spaceship interaction, we'll just call interaction. This can be a Unity event. Is that what we want? Doesn't seem like that's what we want, but I think so. On interact, and all we have to do is on trigger enter 2D if other dot is get component interactor, then on interact, right? Or dot on interact dot invoke, and there we go. So the spaceship now has this like interaction event, and I kind of want to use this. Let's just duplicate this. So if I duplicate this, load scene on interact, and we'll just name it the same thing, load scene on interact. Don't require a button for you, so there is no button. Don't worry about any of that, but definitely on the enabled. Oh, maybe we do require, you know what we do require? Require component interaction, type of interaction, and then if not interaction, then interaction equals get component interaction, and let's create a local variable. Nope, the other thing, field variable, create parameter. Let's create a field, and I want this to be public, and I want this to be interaction. Okay. So on validate, do that. On enable, I want to add that callback. Interaction dot on interact. Load scene. Oh, we totally need the scene name. What am I thinking? Public string scene name. Yep. And then all we do is remove the callback, and we should be good to go. So if I go up to the spaceship, I should load a new scene. Oh, but let's see what scene we want to load. Let's just go back to the main menu. Is it just called main menu? Scenes. Let's just start calling you better things. Main menu, space, lunar module, I like that. Ground control, command module, enter spaceship. Sure. Victory and sample. And then in main menu, let's go ahead and that button, let's take out the word scene. Okay. And then back to entering the spaceship. Let's just go to ground control. Yeah, let's go to ground control. No, let's go to main menu. So ground, spaceship. When we are ready to interact with you. Come on. Let's go to main menu. Okay. Whew. I'm getting sleepy. Not sleepy, tired. I slept a lot, but you know, after even like an hour and a half of work, this can get exhausting. Alright, cool. So we got our first scene going. Let's keep it going. So you talk to some astronauts, you enter the spaceship. In fact, we'll just go ahead and say this goes to ground control, because that will probably be the next scene I want to work on. I'll go ahead and just grab all of this, and we'll just keep it going. Well, alright, let's start thinking about this a little bit more smart. Character is probably going to be a thing. An NPC is probably going to be a thing. Borders I don't really see the need for that to be a prefab. Ground, nah. Spaceship, not really. Okay. Background, yeah, I think background's going to be something that's going to be common. And I guess the camera, we can go ahead and do that too. Okay, so that is great. I guess the ground. No, it's fine. Cool. So now let's go to our next scene, which is going to be ground control. For now, for no good reason, I'm just going to tint these yellow just so I know I'm on a different scene. And let me just see what happens if I start from scratch. So ground control being here. For now, let's just do spaceship as a color. Shouldn't really matter, but what I want to do is this goes to main menu. Alright, so we're here at the menu. We're here, we're talking. We can go to here, we're in the next scene, and then we go back to main menu. Okay, cool. Alright, so the loop is getting started, and I'm getting to the point where I can, this is where I'm trying to get to. Going to my storyboard again. I have it so I can get to these individual beads where you're kind of playing around here. These beads are going to get bigger after liftoff because you're going to get introduced to this scene. Here you're getting introduced to you are getting introduced to just the entering of the spaceship. Here's where you get introduced to the ground control. This is where you're going to get introduced to space. Then this is where you're going to get introduced to the command module. And then maybe more. This is the command module and more. Ground control, maybe liftoff. During liftoff, you're in the command module. Yeah, so this is where you get command module. This is where you see space. And once you hit space, you'll have access to the other two places, which is ground control and the command module. And then later, just the space and the lunar module and ground control. And then, yeah. Oh, you get to see the command module, but then you can see it's frozen. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I like it. Okay. So, I'm just trying to make sure I get the whole story in, like, at least in scenes way, and you're able to toggle between each of the scenes as an action, and then I'll start filling in the content later. Okay, good. Break time. I'll be back in about 15 to 20 or longer, unsure, but good start. I'll be back. Oh, before I go, commit code. Add. I don't even know what I added. Change core controls to only use fire 1 and movement. I think that's fine. Alright. Okay. Break time. See you guys in a bit. Bye.